Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, I'm Papa Boris, and in this video I'm going to begin probably the dumbest series in the history of this channel. We're going to play Retro Bowl, a football slash coaching slash sports management sim retro game. It's a mobile game. I'm going to be playing it on BlueStacks, and it's free. It's a really good free-to-play game. You can enjoy the game completely for free, and the unlocked full version is just $1. Honestly, you should probably just go play the game on your phone or tablet instead of watching this video series. But if you're going to watch this video series for whatever reason, let's go ahead and start a new game. So the way it works at the beginning is you type in your name, and I have not actually been able to figure out how to type in more than one letter in BlueStacks. So we're going to be PB for Papa Boris. And you choose your favorite team. I don't actually know what this does mechanically, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Green Bay because I live in Wisconsin. So, you know, I got to have state pride in it. And you can start with your favorite team as the coach of your favorite team. But the game doesn't recommend that, and it makes kind of sense. So what we're going to do is not start with Green Bay, and the goal of this video series will be to become the head coach of the Green Bay Packers and then win the Retro Bowl while they're head coach. So this video series will either end there, or I'll just be too bad at this game because I do suck horribly and give up while trying. Now what I like about this game is that it actually starts you rather creatively as the head coach of a crappy team at the end of a season. So you play the last game of the regular season for this team that you start on, and then you get a little bit of a warm-up, a taste of how the game works before you dig into the beginning of a new season and have to do the draft and all that stuff. Now we're not gonna skip the tutorial, but I am gonna skip all these steps of the tutorial. We'll talk about that stuff later on our own terms. Nobody owns me. Nobody tells me what to do. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some basic mechanic tutorializing. So in this game, you click, or I should say tap on your quarterback and you drag backwards to aim the ball. Then you let go and he throws the ball, and if one of your people catches it, that's good. And then if they don't catch it, that's bad. And then if one of the enemy people catches it, that's really bad. Here we're going to do a shotgun. I don't actually know if that's what it is called. I don't really know football very well, so yeah, there we go. The quarterback was dropping back that time before he, threw the ball. Okay, so now rushing. To do a rushing play, you click on the blue circle for your running back, and as you run, you can actually move up and down. The way it works is you swipe. Now here I'm going to admit I'm a little bit of a cheater. I have created custom controls here in BlueStacks in order to handle the up and down swiping so that my characters can move. This is because in BlueStacks, maybe I'm just terrible, I find swiping very difficult. You can't click and drag. You have to click, move the mouse, and let go really fast, and I'm just bad at that, so I created custom controls to swipe with the arrow keys. So yeah, I'm a cheater. Stop watching. Go watch someone else play this retro mobile game about managing a sports team. Yeah, okay. Now you can also run with your quarterback, which I will literally never do. But you aim the ball backwards to do that, and then you run. And there's a couple things you can do. You can actually swipe backwards to stop in place, in addition to swiping down to move down or swiping up to move up. And you can also swipe forwards in order to dive. I didn't actually manage to swipe forwards that time. The diving is kind of nifty. You obviously give up the opportunity to run. What? Sorry. Why did that fail? Oh, you wanted me to dive and not get a touchdown. Got it. Okay, so swiping forward, you can guarantee a few extra yards at the cost of giving up the opportunity to maybe get more yards by running further. So you can swipe right before you're about to get tackled and sneak some extra yards in. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about kicking. First, you click to set the power of your kick. And then you click again to aim your kick. And then if you aim good, it goes, I believe the expression is, it splits the uprights. I learned that from NFL Blitz back in the arcade days. And then you get a point or 3 points depending on the circumstances. Okay, so we're doing another kicking tutorial. Okay, so now it's farther away, so it's harder, but I'm just really amazing, so it gets in anyways. Okay, so let's now talk about some of the sim aspects of this game. So in the front office, you can see your stadium, training facilities, and rehab facilities levels. Obviously, they start out as pure shit. It's a bit random. I believe you just get 2 pips split out among them, beyond the first level at random. Maybe not. I'm not sure exactly what the starting variables are. I've definitely had my stadium start at 3 before, which sucks because I want stadium. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my stadium. So let's talk about why I did that. You have this fans bar, And you can see there's a split here. This fans bar is actually split into 3 segments. Now, if your fan percentage is in this first segment, you only get 1 coaching credit after every game. But if your fans bar expands into the second segment, then after a game you actually get 2 coaching credits. And if you manage to make it past this third bar, you actually get a whopping 3 coaching credits at the end of a game. Coaching credits are kind of like your currency in this game. They're different from money because technically money is what's used to hire people. So we have like a $150 million salary cap, and every player costs a certain amount of money. Like this guy is $12 million, so that contributes to the salary cap. So it's not technically money, but it's basically money. You use coaching credits to upgrade your facilities. You use coaching credits to hire free agents over here. You use coaching credits to hire better coaches for your offensive and defensive forces. So the coaching credits are pretty useful. So all that is by way of saying it's a good idea to get your fans bar up into this high area so you're getting 3 coaching credits for every game, as opposed to just like 1 or 2 in the earlier area. So I like to focus on upgrading my stadium early on. So it kind of sucks that we began with just 1 in the stadium level. Now, training facilities, what this does is it increases the degree to which players earn experience after each game. And so like, for example, my quarterback, okay, never mind, bad example. For example, my running back sucks dick at catching, but he can get better up until like this point. After every game, every player gets a certain amount of experience, and then when they level up, you can spend that experience to improve in them in one of the categories where they can still be improved. And if they can't be improved anymore, like for example my quarterback, if he levels up, you can't improve anymore, you get a coaching credit for them leveling up. So the training facilities increase the degree to which players gain experience. One thing you have to keep in mind that's not at all obvious from this game is that the experience players gain is somewhat in degree or proportion to like how often they're used during the game or how successful they are during the game or something like that. But basically, like if you never throw a ball to your wide receiver, that wide receiver is going to gain a minimal amount of experience. Whereas if you throw the ball to them a lot, they're going to get a lot of experience. So you have to be a little bit careful when you like draft people who have a lot of potential, who have like, for example, you know, a lot of room to improve, because if you don't use them very much, you actually won't improve them very much at all. So some people like the running back, who you can give the ball to anytime you like, are much easier to improve, or the quarterback where you're throwing the ball all the time. They're pretty easy to improve. Whereas other positions, such as for example, a wide receiver, require a lot more effort on your end to actually make them better because you need to be throwing them the ball. Okay, then we also have the rehab facilities. What this does is it lessens the chance of your players getting injured. It keeps their condition higher. So if you take a look here at our roster, condition is like a measure of how close they are to their, peak strength and overall wellness. And the rehab facilities make this decrease to a lesser degree with each game. In addition, if a player does get injured, which will happen, they're going to miss a certain number of games. The number of games they miss is reduced by having higher rehab facilities. So personally, I like to upgrade my stadium until my fans bar gets into the 3rd level and kind of stays there, so I can get 3 coaching credits for every game. And then after that, I like to focus on training facilities so my players can improve. And then the rehab facilities, I like to get it kind of in the middle so it's not terrible, and then leave it alone. Okay, now I'm not going to talk about every single mechanic here. Let's just go ahead and continue and play a game. When we get to the next video and do a draft, that, my friends, is when we'll talk more in depth about some of the strategy with this game. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and move on. So we're going to play... Wait, I'm Tampa Bay? Oh, interesting. This is the first time I've ever had Tampa Bay. A lot of my other save files... I've spoiler alert, ruined many save files. A lot of save files that I've had while playing this game. I've been Washington, I've been Miami, I think I was Cleveland once, but I've never been Tampa Bay, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so at the start of a play, you see what your people are going to do, like what direction they're going to run in, and you can decide to either click on your quarterback and pass, or, throw the ball backwards and run with the quarterback, or you can click on your running back and have the running back run the ball. Now, it's important to know your team so you know like who's good at catching, who's fast, who's not. I didn't actually look at any of that stuff, so we'll just go ahead and give it to the quarterback. Well, that guy looks open. Yeah. Okay, now one thing I didn't mention is that in this game, and this is actually really important, I think is a very clever game design decision on the part of the developers. I think it really almost like makes the game be as good as it is. You do not have to worry about staffing a full team of players. basically any player that you don't have in your roster is just controlled by a generic AI who basically more or less sucks. So look at this. See that guy glowing yellow with a star over his head? That's because I have a wide receiver on my team. Now this guy's also a wide receiver. He just sucks. And so if I like cut this wide receiver from my team, he'd be replaced by like a generic dude who sucks. This running back, he's got a glowing yellow outline and a star. That's because I actually have a running back on my team. But if I didn't have a running back, he'd be like this generic slow guy who sucks at catching and sucks at everything. So you can actually kind of, choose who do you want to have a star player for to improve, and then whom are you going to just like settle with having be a generic craptastic loser. Okay, I'm gonna try to pass it to my someone over here. Okay, someone caught it. That's good. It was my wide receiver got in there and caught it. Excellent. Okay, we'll go ahead and have the running back run the ball. So what you can do is, see how that said stiff arm? You can click, and if you manage to click right as someone's about to tackle you, there's a chance that you'll actually end up stiff arming them and blocking the tackle. Now, your running back strength determines how many stiff arms you can do during a run. This game has basically no documentation / terrible documentation, so I don't know like how strong your guy needs to be to have, X number of stiff arms per carry, but that's just something, it's a value of having a running back on your team so you can actually like do those stiff arms and run faster and get further and stuff. Now you just noticed that we didn't play defense, and that's another very bold and, in my opinion, very good game design decision on the part of this game's designers. You don't do defense. Defense is done automatically, so you kind of just get to watch what happens. A lot of the time, the other team scores. Sometimes, you block them. We'll talk more about defensive players and what role they have on the game in a later video. But I think it's very clever because it makes the games go a lot faster since you're not doing defense. And my advice would be just accept the fact that you're going to, be scored against a lot by the computer, and make sure that, you try to score as much as you can on your drives. Okay, so we're going to try to throw to this guy who's running a slant, even though it's a generic guy, because he's going to be open. Look at that. Oh, my God. Now he's slow as molasses, so I did a dive to get a couple extra yards, because I probably wasn't going to get those yards just by actually running. All right, I'm going to stiff arm. Nope, didn't stiff arm, but we got 4 yards for free just by clicking on a blue circle. I'd say that's pretty good. Why don't we do this again? I'm going to dodge up and then dive. Oh, nope, got tackled before I dove. Now, if you don't know football, you might not know this, but after the second quarter, the game stops. So, like, the first quarter ended and whatever was happening at the end of the first quarter, we pick up right from there. But when the second quarter ends, it stops, and whichever team didn't get the ball at the beginning of the game gets the ball at the beginning of the second quarter. So you have to make sure that you score before the second quarter ends. And so there's a little bit of, clock management at work here. Now, I think this guy is going to be open. Someone tried throwing him the ball. Oh, that was a terrible throw. That's going to be an interception. Okay, well, I was lucky and someone caught it. I think my running back actually got up there and caught it for me. Now, this game has, by default, a dynamic difficulty, meaning the game gets harder as you win more games, and it gets easier as you lose games. So, I've noticed when the dynamic difficulty gets up there, it gets really, really hard. Like, the computer will, rain interceptions down upon you if you don't throw your passes with remarkable precision, and people aren't just randomly open all the time like they are here. Like that running back's going to be wide open. Yep, see, there he is. And he caught it. Oh, yep, he got it. Got tackled, though. Okay, so now this game, if I can score here, there's a really good chance I've got it lucked up. The computer managed to score during their possessions. What the hell is this? Did they get a 2-point conversion into field goal? Something like that? And I got 2 touchdowns. But if I get a third touchdown, they're probably not going to have enough time in the fourth quarter to score more than once. So this is a very important drive here. Got to make sure I get there and don't throw any interceptions. That might be an interception. Oh, I got it. Dodge up, dodge up. Okay. Now you can click sometimes and just kind of do a hop right before the guy tackles you. Oh, look at that. I dodged down and managed to dodge his tackle. These guys are going to get there. I'm going to dive. Oh, and that's a touchdown. Yes, okay. Now, you notice that my guy got really, really slow as he got closer and closer. That's the stamina stat. So stamina is a measure of how long you can run at your top speed. So you need to have good speed, but you also need to have good stamina, and it's actually a marvel to watch when there's a player who has really good stamina and good speed. They just zoom off and just stay zooming and make it all the way to the end. One thing that's kind of unrealistic, perhaps, is that the defensive players evidently have an infinite amount of stamina, and they will just run you down like dogs, no matter how long it takes. But I think that's fine. I think it's one of those cases where maybe sacrificing a little bit of realism in the name of, making the game good works really well. Okay, so the fourth quarter's, almost over. There's no way the enemy team is going to make back 10 points. So here, if you're really going to, like, completely min-max it, you probably want to try to give your players more experience. So, like, throwing to the generic tight end, whom I don't have a player in that spot, might not be as good as, for example, throwing to a wide receiver or giving the ball to the running back and giving him a chance to get some yards. But I don't know exactly, like, how the experience thing works, and I'm not going to bother with it. I just want to win the game. Oh, look at that running back. Yes. I could... Oh, the game... In like, halfway through the first game, you're introduced to timeouts. You get 2 of them per half. We'll just go for a first down. I think I can do one more play as long as I'm quick on the draw, clicking that timeout button. Oh, and then I dive for a touchdown. Nice job. So that should give my running back some nice experience. Although, as we'll see shortly, my running back's experience probably is not going to be super relevant. Okay, so the game ended. And yeah, that was that. So now notice, because my fans bar is in here, I got 2 coaching credits. Now, I didn't mention this, but after a game, if you won, your bar increases. And if you lost, your bar decreases. Oh God, I just realized I never explained this at all when I was talking about the stadium facilities. Oops. So what the stadium facilities actually do, let me go ahead and praise the fans to increase my bar further. What the stadium facilities actually do is they increase how much your fan percentage increases with every win, and they decrease how much your fan percentage decreases with every loss. And so having a better stadium makes it so that you get more fans quickly from winning, you lose fans less rapidly from losing, and that helps you get up to a high level on the fans bar and stay there so you can start getting those sweet, sweet 3 coaching credits per game. I'm going to go ahead and just upgrade it one more time now. So that increases my fan bar further. So it's like basically broken up into thirds. So I'm roughly like 6-ish% away from being up to that coveted third bar and being able to rake in 3 coaching credits per game. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and pause here, and then in the next video, we will discuss some other mechanics and also do the draft for the beginning of the next season. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.